Reardon,
Here.
Commissioner Milligan,
Here.
Commissioner Modio,
Here.
Commissioner Anaya,
Here.
Commissioner Brennan.
Here.
You have a quorum.
All right, for all those who wish, please stand for the invocation and pledge. Heavenly Father, we come to you today and ask you for your guidance and your help as we deliberate the town's business. Help us to make the wise decisions and be as efficient for the town as possible. Please watch over all of us. In your holy name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico and the Zia symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures. Oh, thank you. All right, are there any changes to the agenda? Are there any objections to the agenda as written? Hearing none, we'll consider the agenda approved. We'll move on to public comment, and we have one person signed up, and that would be Linda Hawley. And name and town of residence, please.
Linda Holly, Edgewood, New Mexico. I just have a couple minor requests. Looking at the consent agenda tonight, it's listed approve, amend, disapprove minutes. And the August check report. I would just like to suggest that the minutes that are being reviewed and approved at a specific meeting be identified by the dates of the meetings. I think that would be really helpful because sometimes it's difficult to find the meeting minutes on the website. And if I can look at a meeting and see that they've been approved, I know to keep digging. When you do have department reports in the consent agenda, those are listed by the department name. So just kind of a little housekeeping suggestion. Also, I noticed in the community liaisons report, there are a number of acronyms that I'm not familiar with, and I think for transparency's sake, it would be nice to have those spelled out. Most citizens don't attend the meetings in person, and they use the minutes, to help identify what had been discussed at the meetings, and so I think it would just be helpful all the way around to spell out the acronyms. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Commissioners, I'm sorry, I forgot to sign up. May I have an opportunity to speak?
I don't have a problem. Does anybody else have a problem with that?
No, no problem.
Mr. Mall, go ahead. Name and town of residence, please.
My name is Mark Mall. I live in Sandia Park. I just wanted to bring something to your attention. Ordinance 2024-017, Section 38E says, any person aggrieved from a final determination of the governing body affirming, modifying, or reversing a decision of the Planning and Zoning Commission may appeal to the First Judicial District Court by filing a notice of appeal with the court within 30 days of the filing of the governing body's notice of decision with the town clerk. And the notice of decision was filed on the 31st of July, which would mean that any appeal, and I understand that Campbell has appealed your decision from the public hearing on the 24th, would need to have been filed before the 30th of August. And I have no idea when that was filed with the district court. I just know that it should have been filed prior to or on or before the 30th of August. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Manager McCracken, so we can quickly answer, I believe that was filed, was the 29th or the 30th of August?
Mr. Chair, I'm looking right now. I actually just sent Mr. Mall an email forwarded, because I do understand a few people that are affected parties want to be added to the lawsuit possibly as, I don't remember what Mr. Keller called it, an interested party, and the lawyer was just saying that we need to do that by the 29th, but let me see when it was actually filed.
I want to say it was the 29th, but I didn't read it until, I think it was the 1st of September when I saw it.
July 31st.
Thank you. August 31st.
Is that the day of the appeal? Notice of decision is dated July 31. What were the dates again that they had to be done by?
The ordinance that I was
30th of
quoting
August.
says it, pardon me?
30th of August.
30th of August, right.
I mean, there,
Mr. Chair, it was filed on August 29th.
okay, I thought it was the 29th.
With the court?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there were, I mean, barely, but they were within the window.
Yeah, well, that's what they do.
I know.
Stall tactics.
All right, let's move on to the consent agenda. On the minutes, and this is the minutes from the previous meeting, I only saw one thing that needed put it in, and that was on the commissioner comments. It just said commissioner, forgot you didn't put my name down.
Mr. Chair, yeah, we have a ghost commissioner, so.
It's misspelled. Oh. And we misspelled Commissioner Reardon's name. Such a hard, it's so hard.
Or he always misspells his. I'm just kidding. Okay, I will make those changes.
All right, so, 2 typographical changes that need to be fixed. Are there any other problems with the minutes? So, with those changes, are there any objections to the consent agenda? Commissioner, are you still looking, or are you good?
No, I'm good.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were looking for something, so I didn't want to rush ahead of you.
Different project.
All right. All right, so if there's no other objections, we'll consider this approved with those 2 changes. All right, matters from the commissioners. Commissioner Anaya.
No, I'm fine.
Okay. Commissioner Reardon.
Mr. Chair, just one suggestion. The town's doing a really good job of keeping us updated, and internally, I'd like to see us possibly see more of that and everybody on the email, so everyone's getting the same thing, and we can frame that for information purposes only, no discussion, no opinion, no decisions at all, and that way everyone comes to the table knowing the same thing. I've noticed that some commissioners are on some emails, some are not, and I just think it'd be better if, even internally, if we're sharing that information with everyone, so when we come to these meetings, we're already informed, kind of the same lines as the agenda request form so you know what's going on, and this way everyone knows what's going on. Because I talked to some of the other commissions, say, oh, I didn't get that. And then I go back and look and, oh, I didn't get that one, but let's say Stephen did or Phil did, and we didn't. So I think it would be helpful if we did that, but I know the caution is not to have a rolling quorum, but if it's framed for information purposes only, then we know what's going on, we don't discuss it, we don't make any decisions. Is there any legal reason we can't do that?
Mr. Chair, the OMA trains us to blind copy, just to prevent any type of rolling quorum. So if you accidentally go to hit reply all, it keeps you out of accidentally having a rolling quorum. So we are advised to do a blind copy with the commission. If it is something that we are working on, just certain, if we know two commissioners are working on a project, normally we just include those two commissioners, or if it's just the two that need to discuss it, that way there can be a discussion. If we start including two here and two there, that can also be a rolling quorum in some regards.
But I'm more or less referring to like general information or general updates, that everybody gets the same thing, and
Mr.
that would just be helpful for us all to know
Mr. Chair,
what's going on in the town.
I know with the updates, again, we try to do the blind copying just to prevent commissioners, because there may be that everyone gets it and they just don't know that. If there is any time that it is just a carbon copy or to the commission, you'll notice that we'll put do not reply all. So I don't know. We try to send it to everybody. There isn't really, if it's just information, but it's just out of an abundance of caution. We do get turned in for just about anything we possibly can do and do, so it's just out of caution.
That's all I have.
Okay. Commissioner Milligan.
I'll pass her this evening.
Okay. Commissioner Murillo.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to do a couple quick shout outs. Josh Jansen, road manager, went down Cactus Road. That's pretty cool. I know it's not even close. I mean, it's not done yet, but you could see a big improvement there, so thank you for that. And then just a shout out to the police officers. I received an email about Officer Ariola Mauer and cracking open a case and getting and hustling and getting those vandalism folks taken care of based off of an energy drink. So that's pretty cool, very impressive. And then just a shout out to the officers that worked that AutoZone case. I know that was a really hard one, and so I really appreciate their effort and taking the time to serve our community. So please pass on my thanks and gratitude. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, that was almost like something right out of CSI or something. I got two things. One, I want to thank the staff for the celebration we had for the Labor Day weekend. I went down there for that, and Commissioner Milligan was there as well. A lot of people showed up. Looks like a lot of people had a good time, had fun, and families were out there. So thank you to the staff for that. Appreciate it. The other thing I want to put out is that I have been able to obtain us a 14-passenger bus. The NCRTD, when a bus gets to a certain mileage, they will roll them out and make them available to other transportation organizations within the state. And then if none of those pick it up, they make them available to municipalities. We had a 14-passenger bus come up, and I put the town in for it. And I just found out today that we will be receiving that 14-passenger bus. What's really nice about it, the seats are removable, so we can remove the seats. You can put animal cages in there, so the animal welfare department can use it. Seats can be put back in. We could utilize that vehicle if we're going someplace with a whole lot of town staff. We could actually use that to everybody ride in one vehicle. Because it is a 14-passenger vehicle, it does not require a CDL to drive it. There were 4 buses that they were going to be releasing, and this one was in very good condition compared to the other 3. And so yeah, we're going to be getting that. So that's going to be a nice little asset for the town to have. And somebody else had mentioned to it when I was talking about it, says, could that be used for the YES program? And I don't see a reason why not. So, just wanted to put that out there. All right. Let's move on to reports, and we'll start off with community liaison.
Good evening, Commissioners. Let me first clarify what some of those acronyms are so that Ms. Hawley is aware. The WIOA grant is a Workforce Innovations and Opportunity Act grant, and the NMTD is New Mexico Tourism Department. I'm sorry, I use those acronyms all the time and I forget not everyone knows what they are. My apologies. Overall, you know, we've had a very busy summer with lots of events going on. We have some important events still to come, Summerfest and Woofstock. We will be doing some Discover Edgewood things and programming to include New Mexico Living coming up on September 16th next week as we try to get the word out on those events. Let's see, what else do we have? I think I had advised all of you in an email that the Indy had picked up our year in review and put that information in the paper for the community to see as well. It is on the website and it is on our social media also. For fall events, we do have some things coming forward soon, and our new Parks Open Space and Trails person, Tara, and our new recreation specialist, Serena, will be working with Parks and Rec on these things as we transition from me covering these things to them taking over their new roles. So I am probably the most excited person in the building about that. But we do have our traditional trunk or treat. We're going to have the zombie run, which last year I believe was called the Ghost Run. And we'll be discussing with Parks and Rec the concept of a community Thanksgiving if there's an interest. And then, of course, our holiday events, the Twinkle Light Parade and the tree lighting. So I'm very eager to have them on board. They're actually both at training right now over in Gallup to look at the outdoor economics, expo and seminar, so that hopefully they will come back with ways that we can utilize our parks and recreation facilities and services to help be a way to build the local economy for economic development here as well. I stand for questions.
Okay, any questions for the community liaison?
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Murillo?
I saw that the new Rex person, is she the same person that did the YES program?
Yes, Serena Ortiz. She ran the YES program, and we were very excited when she applied for the recreation specialist position. And Tara is coming to us from the city of Albuquerque, where she's worked in their animal shelter, and I forget the other department she worked in, but she has a lot of experience doing outreach community programming for the animal welfare area. So that will be really nice as we segue into the Parks, Open Space, and Trails, where we hope to do additional kinds of programming and some educational events as well for the communities, hiking, stargazing, things like that, that are not unique to Edgewood, but are certainly one of the benefits of living in Edgewood.
Anybody else? When we, has the trunk or treat been posted yet on the website?
It is, I believe it's on there. It's October 31st. Halloween actually falls on a Friday night, and so we're doing it on the 31st. You may notice that a lot of our town events are going to start to segue to Friday nights. That really has a lot to do with the community's ability to attend as well as staffing. And so rather than have staff have to come back and we get into a big overtime issue on a Saturday, by doing them on Friday nights, the community can still attend and still enjoy it. Their weekend is not disrupted, especially in the fall where so many families are tied up with soccer and so forth. So far we've seen a good response to that, and we'll continue to observe whether or not it's well received in the community. But some large events like Woofstock and Summerfest will still be done on Saturdays.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Mr.
welcome.
Chair.
Commissioner Anaya?
Linda, how is that going to compete with sports, school sports?
How will what compete?
Fridays and Saturdays.
Well, there's always going to be something that is true, and in the fall, of course, football is big on Friday nights. So we've had AYSO soccer on Saturday. Sometimes there's conflicts on field use and so forth. Again, we're trying it to see how it works, what the community's reception is to it. And this is the first fall that we're trying it, so we'll see how it is impacted by those high school sports on Friday nights.
So we're gonna use tracking on it?
Pardon
We're
me?
gonna be tracking it to see,
We're tracking it kind of anecdotally. We're looking at the volume of people that seem to show up for events compared with in the past. So we're not counting numbers at gates and things like that per se.
okay. We just wanna try to accommodate
Exactly.
at
And,
least 80% of the people.
and there will still be events that do fall on the weekends. Things like the tree lighting and things like that. We're going to try that on a Friday night as well. It used to be consistently on a Friday night, first Friday of December. So we're really moving back on that one to what it used to be.
Thank you.
Sure.
Anybody else?
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, town clerk, treasurer.
Mr.
You're up.
Chair. Some things happening. Most recently, importantly, we got fourth quarter approval on our budget as well as conditional final approval on our FY26 budget. I want to clear up some, I guess, misconceptions when it comes to the budget and kind of reading what it is. I know that there is a lag in our revenues till about the first quarter is my understanding, so you're not gonna see a lot of revenues at the beginning. And also, people aren't taking into account the cash plus the revenues that we get. That equals more than our expenditures right there. So we're not spending above our means. We're ending the year in a positive. Also, I want to bring to light something that was discovered yesterday. During the finalization of the FY26 budget, Trina Page and myself, mostly Trina Page, she noticed that there was some, I don't know exactly what accounts there are. Basically, I believe they look like revenue accounts that got stuck in FY24 and never got pulled through into FY25, which creates that disparity that we kind of see where our bank account is saying something different than what our cash revenues say in LGBMS. So we are working to fix that. And the IRS project, we're gathering more information that's needed for the CPA. And I guess I stand for question.
Okay, any questions for the clerk treasurer?
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair,
Oh, Commissioner, I got you first.
Sorry about that. Victoria,
Yes, sir.
I have received a number of calls throughout last week, concerning the budget.
Mhm.
And their concern is that what we posted on the website, and we just happen to have a lot of members of this community that are financial savvy,
Sure.
I guess you can say, and when they looked at the budget, as I did, it was hard to figure it out because it didn't balance. I know why it didn't balance, but the community doesn't know the in or outs of the LGBMS system.
Right.
Which is a state system, and we have to follow their guidelines.
100%.
And what I would like for you to do, if you could, explain to the community that we are not in the red, and the reason we're not in the red, and but most of all, the reason why it shows that we are in the red, okay? Because of the guidelines that the accounting system with Santa Fe Finance Department operates. Does that make sense?
Yeah, to a degree, Mr. Chair, Commissioner Anaya, from what I have right here before me, it shows that we are $3.2 million in the black. So I don't see where their understanding is of, we have a disparity, I guess.
Did you look at the reports that were posted in the, I think Linda did that report for the community? Is that true, Linda?
I'm looking right now to see if I can pull up what you're referring to.
It's a budget recap, FY, let's look at FY 2024 final approval. If you look at the expenditures versus the revenues, we spent $10,000, and then you look at the cash revenue, the investments could be on both sides. It's a deficit and a capital gain, but we're showing $80 million, which is $2.1 million in the black, in the red.
Okay, pardon me, Linda, where is the report exactly?
If you go to Finance Department, for the Department of Finance and Budget, you can bring up the budget library.
So what you have is your cash balance, which is what you start with. That is essentially kind of what you guys have in the bank. You then have 9.9 revenues. That is money that you get monthly through GRTs, through impact fees, through all of the items that we accrue through services, okay? You add those two up, it's $19 million. And then we have $13 million in expenditures. That's not a deficit.
Go down each line item. This is kind of something that happened in a way with Moriarty's accounting system also.
Right.
Which was a big fiasco with the reporting system.
So the note balances are ending in deficits, though. The balance, they're all zero. I don't see anything ending in a deficit. So I'm confused at, some of those are grants, so you have the law enforcement, of course, that's gonna be zero.
I know that.
Yeah, so some
But-
of these are,
But the audience and many people that, again, like I had mentioned, financial savvy, are calling me saying, hey, you can't work in the red, which is true, we can't.
of course.
And so I guess the reporting system is basically the system that we have to follow through the state.
Yes, and the
Okay?
state raises
And the state
no.
doesn't always show a positive. Okay?
Correct.
And so that's.
But there's
I'm-
also a
What I'm trying to
lagging,
get you to do is explain to the audience why it's,
why it's what?
Commissioner Anaya,
yes,
I received the similar phone calls about the budget deficit. It appeared that our revenues, our expenditures were exceeding our revenues by $3 million, is what it looked when they pulled the numbers on the website.
So if you look at the bottom, the very bottom, it shows all your totals. This is kind of what we're working off of. You have $9.7 million in cash. We have investments, which those are gonna be actually corrected to my knowledge. We actually have more investments. We have more assets than what has been reported. About $1.89 million have, from what Trina and I have discovered, have gone unreported to the DFA. So we are working to change that. So that's gonna up our cash balances even further. We have $9 million in revenues that we get in as the town. So this is gonna put us, I mean, without doing like an actual calculation, a rough estimate of $19 million plus your $1.8 million. You're looking at over $20 million for the town's money. Expenditures are $13 million. You subtract that, you're gonna end in the black as the town overall final budget.
Let me ask you something on top of that. And this doesn't even show the grant reimbursements that we've submitted that
Correct.
we haven't received yet.
Correct. That is also correct.
Because I know the work on Venus Park is a huge grant reimbursement.
Correct.
The grant reimbursements, though, show we have it, but it doesn't show properly through the state accounting system.
Not until we physically get it in our hands.
Yeah, well, GRTs.
So that's what I'm trying
Some
to
GRTs.
explain to
Yeah.
customers.
So GRTs also come monthly, we have that. When I do my quarterly reporting, we also accompany or account for the grants. That shows when I send everything to DFA, it shows our grant reimbursement. So that money is also taken into account, not in the final budget because we don't know exactly how much we're gonna get throughout the year. Is there anything else?
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Ritter?
I did have one more. I know we had mentioned that we'd overpaid for fire support. I was wondering what our way forward was going to be on that. Have we negotiated anything with them to reduce our monthly payments till we catch up? Or
We have had one meeting with Santa Fe County. It was very, in my opinion, unproductive. We do have we have been overpaying quite a bit. The way that the agreement is read is one thing, and the way that they've been paid out is totally different. The agreement is to pay, what is it, 0.25%, and we've been paying them 16% of our GRTs.
so the negotiations with them, they won't entertain any thought of us reducing our monthly payment until it's worked out evenly?
Mr. Chair, I'm sorry, I was actually gonna bring this up on my matters, but I think we both, Ms. Page and I have met with the county manager before and his staff, and when I told him from our calculations, we could see that we've had like 6 or 7 people go through it, that we have overpaid. He told me he had no polite words for us, and he didn't know how he would talk to his commission about it. Unfortunately, sometimes we have to talk to you guys about tough stuff. And honestly, I'll just put it out there, we probably overpaid them by about $2 million in the last 7 years. And and I understand where he's coming from, that isn't enough for 24-hour fire service. I asked him about redoing that ordinance or that agreement earlier in the year, and he didn't want to hear it. What he told us is, we need to find out how someone calculated it 6 years ago, that we need to find everything, because he feels like we should be paying what we've been paying, even though we've been paying it incorrectly. He feels that we should be held to that because it's been an error on the town's part for the last 20 years.
What, should we get our attorneys involved in this to see if we can resolve it?
Mr. Chair, I think so. I don't feel like it's anyone in this room's responsibility to go back to figure out how someone calculated something out 6 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 15 years ago. We don't know what they were doing then. We don't know I guess we go back to see what the GRTs were then. but we can't speak for what anyone else did. All we know is that we have found an error and we have to fix it going forward. It is unfair to our constituents to be grossly overpaying, and I do understand that the fire department needs funds, but they have to exist there regardless if we pay them or not, because they have to serve the constituents of Santa Fe County. And that's where I have a problem, and I know the few times that we've met with the county manager, he somewhat tries to tell us what to do, but I don't work for him. I work for U5. So whatever you guys would like to do is what we will do. I did want to bring it up because we do need to address it, and I do feel bad that the county does have to go to their commission to discuss this issue, but I do think this is everyone at the table to find the best path forward. I don't think that we should have to continue paying over $400,000 each year that we aren't supposed to be paying. I feel bad, and it is what it is.
Well,
But that's
it's a
where I
given
feel.
fact, right? It's a given
Yes.
fact. You said you had independent folks look at the numbers, and we've overpaid. I don't know
Yes.
why that would be so hard for them to understand and work with us on reduced payments per month.
Mr. Chair, his comments were it's not going to be received well.
Well, they were receiving it well all this time, weren't they?
So just a little bit of what we're all dealing with.
Okay.
And I
Well,
stand for other questions.
I'm up for that. I'll go with you. If you want me to go up there and talk to them, I'd be happy to do that.
Likewise.
Avoid a quorum, please.
Load up that 14-passenger bus and everybody go.
Ken's bus.
I mean, what happens if we just reduce it? Then what? That's where I think our attorneys should be able to work something out for us.
Mr. Chair, we were told there was no polite words for us, is what we were told.
Wow,
It goes both ways.
okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Oh, no, it's the chief's turn.
And correct me if I'm wrong, this kind of started when they were coming to us and say that we were owing them a whole lot of money?
No,
Or-
actually. Mr. Chair, sorry to steal your thunder over there. Michelle Jones had questioned it and reached out to the county, but I know Brad Hill and I went up to talk to the county manager in person February of '24. And what we wanted to know is where are our funds going for the Santa Fe County Fire Station that's here? What are our constituents paying for? That's all we wanted to know, is where are our funds going? And we have every right to have that. I've asked for those 5 times and have received nothing. But I was told that, well, not even told, it was demanded that I just go find records from God knows when of who calculated what. And that's where that was. But Michelle had asked, because she was asking why we were paying so much. She was trying to get more information. They dodged us for 10 months until they or 8 months until they finally showed up and said we owed them. And when we went and had quite a few people calculate this, I had sent an email telling them that they owed us money. And then when I talked to him, I said, as I had told you, you guys owe us. But I mean, I don't know if it's worth a battle with the county for our money. And it's paid, and I'm sure that the fire department's used it. At least I hope they have. But that's how this all started, is because Michelle Jones started asking questions.
Well, it's a given fact that one government agency is not supposed to make a profit off of the other one. And that's clearly what's happened here. So from a legal perspective, we have solid ground to stand on here to reduce our monthly payment or be recouped some of those damages over a period of time that wouldn't impact their day-to-day operations that much. You know, I mean, that money we could have spent on equipment and roads here.
I'm sure we'll be able to work out something with the county on this. It just gonna take, what was the word I was gonna use?
Not nice words.
A little bit of firm tackness. All right, anything else for the clerk treasurer? All right. Chief, you're up.
Mr. Chair, Commission Chair, thank you. Good evening, gentlemen. So I've been out for maybe the last week with a neck and a shoulder surgery that took place within 2 days of each other, a couple days of each other, so I'm just getting back in this week, but basically, I have no new matters to discuss this week, but if you guys have questions, I'm open.
So how you feeling?
Better?
Much better?
Yeah, the shoulder, the neck was, OR surgery, so I was under for that one. That one, pretty simple. So the one that I was awake for actually hurts a hell of a lot worse, so, yeah. But I'm
Right
good.
or left?
This one, left.
Do you shoot right?
I shoot right, this is left, so I'm good,
Okay.
so. no.
Just checking.
All right. Well, once again, I'm going to reiterate something that had been said before. The two cases that the officers have worked so hard on.
Mhm.
And I know the one that involved the baby was, I couldn't even want to put myself in
Yeah,
that
so we
position.
still have some sensitive issues surrounding that one, so we'll kind of
Yeah.
treat that one with the kid gloves. The other one was just some really good police work, great observation by both officers, and they ran with that lead, and it just kind of avalanched and kind of fell into their laps, and it was really, really good police work. So we're kind of proud of that, so. we
Well, thank you
appreciate-
for your team's
we
work.
We appreciate the recognition, so.
Any questions for the chief?
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right. And I hope you continue to heal better.
Oh, I will. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, town manager.
Mr. Chair, commissioners, appointed staff, and our very important public, well, guess I'm a little fired up, as you can see, but, it has been busy, as we discussed. I've dealt with the county a little bit over the payment issue. With Campbell Ranch, I guess he was listening to us earlier, but the lawyer reached out, and he just said that it was filed the 29th of August. It was served to us September 8th, and it says under Rule 74, the town must file the record with the court by September 29th. After that, the court will schedule the briefing schedule. But I do know, I did talk to Mr. Kellogg from Impact. They may be an interested party. They're discussing that. They just need to do that before September 29th, if that's the route that them or anybody else that's a impacted party would like to be involved. I had reached out to the New Mexico Department of Finance. They can send someone who comes and kind of overviews your finances, just to making sure everything's in line and with the state. And since we seem to have so many questions that pop up, I reached out because I thought it might be good if one of the experts of the state come and just kind of shadow and go through things, see where there's faults and issues, and help fix everything. I did reach out to them. I did finish the discovery for the Bird case. That, just so everyone knows, the Bird case is the Rainbow Road Air Park lawsuit. There is a hearing September 11th I have to attend, and ironically, that judge is the same one for the Campbell Ranch. So we're gonna see how that goes. I don't know, I'm all fired up about that payment, I'm sorry. Has my blood boiling right now. But other than that, I will stand for questions. It's been really busy, and we've just been trying to get through as much as we possibly can lately. And we're just working day by day, going through what we can, but I stand for questions.
All right, questions for the town manager? All right.
The first.
Well, we don't want to get you any more fired up. But I do appreciate you. All right, so let's moving right along. We're going to move on to the ordinance, resolutions, and zoning. So the first one here is Resolution 2025-036 TPF match waiver application for West Venus.
Hello, good evening, Commissioners. So if you recall, we submitted 2 applications for NMDOT's Transportation Projects Fund back in May. We had one application for East and West Dinkle and then another one for East and West Venus. On those applications, we had indicated that we would be interested in applying for a match waiver. So Miss Alicia Rodriguez from MERCOG had followed up with us about that a week or 2 ago. She asked us to submit a resolution and a letter to apply for the match waiver. regardless of whether we were awarded or not. I did find out last Thursday that we were not awarded. This year, they just had a really competitive application process and didn't have a big enough pot of money to accommodate each application that they received. But even though we were not approved, we still need to submit the match waiver application to MERCOG, I think just for their record keeping. But yeah,
Oh, that in case somebody else drops out and they have to
Right.
reevaluate.
right, yeah.
Yeah, and it never hurts to ask.
Right, exactly, yeah.
So just for everybody's knowledge, for a match waiver, if we were granted that, it's just that additional monies that would be the match, we wouldn't have to pay it.
Right.
All right, any questions on this one? Then I need a motion.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Milligan.
make a motion that we approve resolution 2025-036, TPF match waiver application for West Venus.
Okay, I have the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, Commissioner Reardon did the second. Any further discussion? Yeah, like I said, it never hurts to ask. All right, no other discussion, we'll move on to the vote. This is a resolution, so it has to be a roll call vote.
Commissioner Milligan,
Aye.
Commissioner Reardon,
Aye.
Commissioner Mudio,
Aye.
Commissioner Anaya,
Aye.
Commissioner Brennan.
Aye,
5-0, motion carries.
thank you. All right, so the next one will be Resolution 2025-037, TPF match waiver application for Dinkle.
The spiel as before goes to the, this resolution as well. So unless you have any follow-up questions, I'm good for discussion on this.
Same thing, different case.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions? I'll need a motion.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Milligan.
I'll make a motion to approve a resolution 2025-037, TPF match waiver application for Dinkle.
Okay. Is that a second from Commissioner Naya?
Yeah.
Okay. Commissioner Naya seconded. All right, any further discussion? All right, let's move on to the roll call vote.
Commissioner Milligan,
Aye.
Commissioner Anaya,
Aye.
Commissioner Mudio,
Aye.
Commissioner Reardon,
Aye.
Commissioner Brennan.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, next one is Resolution 2025-038, Trails and Grants Application for Echo Ridge Park.
So right now, I'm working on a grant application for the Trails Plus program, which is administered by the New Mexico Outdoor Recreation Division. So our concept project for the grant is an ADA compliant trail at Echo Ridge Park. I do have an opinion of costs and a sketch of the concept trail from Dennis Engineering, and I have copies of them to share if you guys want to take a look at those. The trail, as of now in the planning phase, will be constructed using asphalt concrete and will have a minimal slope of less than 10 degrees all the way around. So we just need a resolution for the application stating that the commission supports the project and the submittal of an application to the grant.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Naya.
do you have a copy of that with you now,
I do, yeah.
for all of us?
Yes.
Thank you.
Did you say asphalt concrete mix or asphalt concrete? What, I missed that.
Sorry, I said asphalt concrete on the website, focused on the asphalt.
Okay.
I got a little confused.
No, it's okay.
And you did say this was for an ADA compliant trail?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Murillo.
So I had a quick question on this one. Are we allowed to do that if we don't have possession of Echo Ridge?
Yeah, so what we would do per our lease with BLM, we go to them and we get written approval that they support the project. And in our lease with BLM right now, we just take on the financial burden and the legwork for the project pretty much. We just need written approval from them. to get the project going.
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Naya?
I guess this would probably go more question to the state, or to the staff, is where are we on taking over the Echo Ridge now?
Mr. Chair, we're just waiting for them. Mark Lujan's no longer with the feds, but he did start the process prior to leaving. So we're just waiting on the federal government, unfortunately. The state government.
The Taos office?
Mr. Lujan contacted us over the late spring, early summer. He didn't foresee his position still being funded and had started the paperwork. But I'll follow back up with them because it's just on their ballpark, waiting for them.
Yeah, because that would take care of a big problem that we have there. Can you email us after you have communication with them? Thank you.
Commissioner Reardon, were you going to say something? No. Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions?
Do you need a motion on this?
Yep, that's my next question. I need a motion.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Naya?
you make a motion that we approve Resolution 2025-038 Trails Grants Application for Echo Ridge Park.
Second.
All right, and Commissioner Milligan seconded. Any further discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Okay. Oh, Commissioner Reardon?
real quick, thanks for staying on top of these. It really does make a difference, and anything that we can do to help move this Echo Ridge along, people are really excited about getting out there, but thanks for all the background work that you did on that.
Yeah, thank you. I'm very busy in the office with all the grants.
All right, anything else? Let's do the roll call vote.
Commissioner Naya,
Proudly, yes.
Commissioner Milligan,
Aye.
Commissioner Murillo,
Aye.
Commissioner Reardon,
Aye.
Commissioner Brennan.
Aye.
5-0 motion carries.
All right, fantastic. All right, moving on to new business. Consideration for appointment to the Lodgers Tax Advisory Board.
Commissioners,
K.R. Scott.
the Lodgers Tax Advisory Board has one position on it that is for general public. So does not have to be someone who works in the travel industry or owns a lodging facility. So this would be the at-large position that Mr. Scott has put his name in for.
And is this a 1 year or 2 year?
This would be a 1 year.
1 year.
And
All right,
I
just-
believe Mr. Scott is
Mr.
here,
Scott?
so if he could come up and answer questions for you.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
I can share the questions with you guys.
Okay, Mr. Chair, Commissioners, what would you like to ask? And I would love to answer.
Commissioner Murillo has a whole list of questions he likes to ask, so we're going to let him have the floor.
Okay.
So Mr. Scott, so I do have a bunch of questions. It's not necessarily just for me and my own interest, but also for the community so they can get to know you a little bit. So I know you do a lot of great things in this town, so I appreciate you sticking your name in the ring for this. So my first question is, what inspired you to apply for this position on this advisory board?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Murillo, in the different roles that I work with in the town, I become very, very much aware of the need for the town to promote business. And the Lodgers Tax Advisory Board is in that unique position to advise the town on how best to commit lodgers tax funds to promote events that promote the town. And so, as a Lion, we serve the town, we work with the community that way. Working with the expo that we're going to be holding next week, we're working with businesses to try to better, if you will, give them visibility, since we haven't had a chamber for a while. So we're trying to step in and do that. So it's sort of my personal mission to try to help the business community in the town, and this particular board is a perfect fusion of both sides.
Great, thank you. I think you answered my next two questions there. Have you previously served on any boards? And if so, can you tell us about your experience?
Yes, Mr. Chair, Commissioner Murillo. I was chairman of the Edgewood Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee. I had been a member for a while beforehand, and in that role, I learned about the need for quality of life services in Edgewood. And you've just gotten a quality of life survey, if you will, the community survey, and the 83% is a really, really good number. A few years ago, Edgewood would have been lucky to get half that number. So the town is in an improving condition, and I want to continue to help the town grow in that way.
Awesome, thank you. My next question is, do you have any professional, financial, or personal relationships that could present a potential conflict of interest with this board's work?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Murillo, I am retired. I am lucky never to have to work again, and I couldn't if I wanted to. But no, I have a retiree from proud state of the Arizona retirement system and Social Security. So no, I have no business interest at all, personal business interest in the town of Edgewood.
Thank you. How would you handle a situation where your personal interests or relationships conflicted with your responsibilities as a board member?
That's a very good question, Commissioner Murillo. I don't think that there would be, because my personal view is how we can best make Edgewood a better place to live. And this particular board supports activities which help draw people to Edgewood and help improve the quality of life for every citizen. Because the more money spent in Edgewood, the more our businesses succeed. The more our businesses succeed, the more gross revenues taxes produced, and the town of Edgewood then succeeds across the board.
Awesome, thank you. And then my final question, have you reviewed the town's conflict of interest policy, and would you be comfortable complying with all transparency and recusal requirements?
Commissioner Murillo, yes, I have. In fact, when you first put it forward, I read it very actively to make sure I understood what it was at. And I have also read the lodger's tax ordinance as well. So I try to keep up with the town.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Reardon.
I'd like to endorse KR. I've known you for a long time. We shared our time together in the HOA, and you're a great community advocate. You have really helped me a lot in the past. Part of the reason I'm here is because of you, and I wanted to thank you for that, too. And you're an outstanding citizen, and all the things that you've done here, it's countless. So I'd love to have you on this board. Thank you so much for applying.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Reardon, thank you very much.
Commissioner Reardon, that sounds like a motion. You want to make that a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to appoint KR to the appointment to the Lodgers Tax Advisory Board.
All right, Commissioner Milligan has seconded. Any further discussion? I've said it before, I'll say again, you've done a lot of work for the town, and I appreciate the work that you've done.
We do what we can.
All right, no further discussion. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed indicate by saying nay. Mr. Scott, welcome to the Lodgers Tax Advisory Board.
Mr. Chair, thank you very much. Thank you, Commissioners.
All right, next here is the overtime pay for police department process. Manager McCracken.
Mr. Chair, Finance came to me because there has been sick time that's taken during a pay period and then overtime. We just need to know if the commission wants to calculate sick time into the 40 or 80 hours and then anything over that, or if it needs to be physically worked 80 hours in a pay period.
I'll go and throw my 2 cents in first and let everybody else go. In all the years that I've worked, I have never heard of vacation time, sick time, or holiday time ever being calculated in for overtime. Never. So that's my position on that. Anybody else?
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Murillo.
Yeah, so I have a lot to say on this, so I'll take the time to do it. I agree with Commissioner Brennan. I've never seen that before myself. And so I thought it was interesting. So as I was digging into this, it looks like this was a interim status fix that was set up back in September of 2024, and now it's September 2025. And so it's been a year that this has been in place. And so my question would really, first of all, is why hasn't anything been considered for this? Why hasn't this been updated? I went through and dug through the town employee handbook, and when it was talking about the overtime components and things like that, it said refer to the Edgewood Police Department SOP. I reached out, asked for the SOP, 400-page document, well, somewhere around there, and I couldn't find anything that talked about overtime. And so we have one employee handbook referring to a non-existent document, or at least a document that doesn't even talk about that. So a few things that I just thought out just in my, I'm gonna say brief work experience compared to some of the gentlemen up here.
Trying to say we're old?
Not quite. Older than me. So some of the things I thought about is I didn't see that we had anything really clear on sick leave, annual leave, comp time, overtime. I had questions about who's considered essential staff for the town of Edgewood. So I could imagine that the PD is essential staff. I could see that the roads department is essential staff in the event of emergency. I know just picking on roads departments, for example, when it snows, they go out and take care of those freak storms. I know they've been called out to go help out with fires in Torrance County to put out those fires. So I'm curious why we don't have a designation for staff and essential staff. And so what I would really like to do is make a motion. And so I move that we keep the current process that we have currently, and that a working group begin this week to draft a payroll process / SOP for the town of Edgewood. This process SOP will be presented to the commission at the second regular meeting of October for discussion and action, and that the work group will consist of representatives from the police department, road department, animal shelter, finance department, and town clerk treasurer, along with myself.
Okay, that's a long motion, but do we have a second?
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Reardon,
could I add to that motion?
since it hasn't been seconded yet, you can suggest an addition to it.
Yeah, I'd like us to look into the state statutes and the rules and regulations and SOPs of other agencies to see if we're consistent with those other agencies and how they do business and how they conduct overtime. There was discussion on possibly going to 410s was an alternate solution there. That could be discussed in this working group to see what best fit for our officers and our environment would be, along with making sure we're not violating any other rules, regulations, or conflicts with overtime, sick leave, that kind of stuff.
All right, so how do you want to word that?
So it's a long, I always go on and on, just to make sure that we're in compliance with state statutes, laws, and
federal.
consistent with, in the short version of the law.
All right, Commissioner Marino, do you accept that addition?
Yes, I do.
All right, Commissioner Reardon, are you also then seconding this?
I second it.
Okay. So we'll move on to the discussion. Anybody have any thoughts or discussion on this?
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Reardon?
Chief, what's your thoughts and recommendation?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Reardon. So I wasn't here in this capacity, excuse me, in 2024, whenever the meetings were happening, for the inception of the way it is now. However, in my absence from my surgery, I was kind of briefed on the fact that I guess finance was coming and saying that this was illegal the way that we're doing it. But if it's illegal now, why wasn't it illegal then? And so I share in the same sentiment with you, Mayor Brennan, that I come from an entity where if you use vacation comp sick in a 40-hour work week or in an 80-hour pay period, that wouldn't count towards your 80. And you'd have to make that up somewhere or negate your sick day or whatever time that you put in to get your 80 back to make overtime in that week. So with those breadcrumbs that are in place via email from the last year, which we've kind of discovered kind of where that whole inception came from, I would agree with creating the workshop, having discussion with it, looking maybe at the alternative work schedules, the 40-hour, how it compares to the Panama. But we also got to look at the FLSA being that it's the minimum standard. And so LT put together a quick PowerPoint. I'm not sure if you guys want to see that now, if you want to wait for that for the discussion, for the workshop, we can do that. But I think it does have to get fixed. I don't know if it has to happen this week, but if we're doing an illegal process, then obviously we have to fix that. But if we also have, as an entity, the ability to create our own ordinances under that, then I think that's something to be considered too, because I do understand that when people get sick, they can't help it when they get sick. However, there are other entities in New Mexico that do pay for that time as counting towards their 80. So I think further discussion is definitely necessary for it, but we've got support on both sides for it, so.
Okay.
Thanks, Chief.
Do we have anything from the treasurer on this one?
My suggestion is to always stay on the right side of the law, so whatever federal and state law says, that's what we need to abide by. That's it.
Okay, Manager McCracken, anything?
Mr. Chair, this is the only place I've ever worked where I've seen people try to use holiday or sick. When I worked for Santa Fe County, if you called in the day before, day after a holiday, you didn't get holiday pay and you didn't get overtime. But I am happy to do whatever the commission wants to do, and I'm honestly very tired of dealing with this issue twice a year. So whatever you guys want to do is fine by me.
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Murillo?
That's the whole point of me asking for the work group. The town has no process. It's all piecemealed, all over the place. I can't get a straight answer when I look at anything. And so I do hope that the commission decides to approve this so that we could put a work group together to come up with something that everyone is aware of. It's posted all over the website. The appointees know what the rules are. The staff knows what the rules are, because you can't play a game if you don't know the rules, unless you're playing with a toddler. And we're not toddlers here. We're grown adults, and we need to figure out a process. Again, I agree with the sentiment. I've never seen the sick leave be counted and outside of the overtime. So I've never seen that myself either. So when it was brought to my attention, I thought it was odd. But it was an agreement made over almost a year ago, or actually a year ago. And so instead of kicking it around, instead of making comments that we haven't seen these things, and I agree, we haven't seen these things. And so we just need to put the playbook out there. Can't expect our quarterback to run a play if he doesn't know where his running back's going or where his receivers are going. You can't expect your lineman to know where to block or what to do in a play situation if there's no playbook. And so what this work group ultimately will do is create a playbook so that we're all on the same page. Because I agree, this should have been figured out 20 years ago. Honestly, in my opinion, I think it would be a fairly easy work group as far as just pulling everything together, drafting it, and bringing it before the commission. That's why I set a time frame of by the next regular meeting in October, or a second regular meeting in October, so that we can have time, make it pretty, and then actually have something that the commission can make a good decision on. Because when you're messing with people and their pay, when we're doing it one way for a year, and then now all of a sudden we're changing it, it just shows, incompetence, and that's not what, or a feeling of incompetence, and we don't want our staff to feel that way. We just want them to know what the rules are, so that they can figure out how to plan their budgets. So I don't think it's a big ask. I think it's a relatively quick turnaround time by the end of October. And I think the folks that I mentioned here, I think all these departments would have really good input and insight, and making sure, because I imagine most of the staff here in Edgewood, they work a regular 80 hours a week. Well, what do we do now that we try to include the PD with that's doing a Panama schedule where they're doing 84 hours with 4 hours of automatic overtime? How is that considered into the calculation? So I think we really just need to take the time, not have a reactive decision-making process. We're not on a battlefield where it's life or death. We're in a government system where we can slow things down, get our heads around it, and come up with something that's beneficial for the town and for the community, so that we're being good stewards of what the community has provided us with. So that's all I have to say about that.
Mr. Chair, just for the record, this will be the second time we've done this. Because we did do this when Commissioner Donner was here before, because this was an issue with the comp time, with the abuse of the comp time and sick time. But I don't know, we're happy to do whatever will make everybody happy. And just, this has been an ongoing issue for about 4 years.
So, Mr. Chair, Manager McCracken, was that resolved, or did we
Mr. Chair,
strategize the way forward then?
I thought it was, but like I said, this is just a reoccurring issue that just keeps popping up anytime we change who does payroll. So it just keeps coming up.
So one thing that I was told, past practice, if it's illegal, past practice doesn't make it legal. If we've been doing it wrong all along, then we've got to fix it, right?
Correct.
So that's why I really want us to dig into the laws, the state statutes, or any other federal regulations that drive this, and maybe other agencies or have an SOP already that they've got that we could tag on to.
Mr. Chair, we can do that. I did send the legal opinion as well on this earlier. That's what it really was coming down to, of whether or not you guys want, it's really up to the commission. When this came up again, my suggestion was just to take it to the commission and just have it codified and approved, but we can bring it back.
Mr. Chair, Commission. So I just want to throw it out there too. This is not something that every pay period that the PD is unilaterally trying to slide by somebody. I think a year ago, this was discussed with previous chief, current administration. Those are the breadcrumbs that I'm talking about through those emails that exist, that it was incepted then or accepted then. So we're going with that current process. So if there's any blame or finger pointing that we're trying to commit fraud, we're not trying to commit fraud. We're going with the system that was accepted by the current administration at the time, a year ago, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And if it was not a sound practice then, what peaked on the radar through finance that all of a sudden it's illegal? Because I think we agree too that we don't want to participate in an illegal process. We want to do it by the book. But I think if there's little loopholes in there with the federal law, FLSA and some things like that, but if through New Mexico Municipal League, if entities are allowed to create their own ordinances with pay, we want to look at that too as well. So we're open to the discussion. Thank you.
you say? LT. What about him? Oh, LT, you want to say something?
No, just here to answer any more questions or further support, because I was actually in that meeting a year ago with Michelle Jones. So if there's any questions that you guys would like to ask about that part of the process and how we got to where we are now, I'll be happy to answer those. And just so we're clear, FLSA standards are a minimum. They're to protect the employee from the employer so that they don't get extra withholdings or anything like that from the employer. It's the floor, not the ceiling. It's not the cap. So I just want to be 100% clear on that side of things. So if we want to pass something as a town that benefits the employee further, I'll just throw a wild example out there. If after 10 hours, employees start to get overtime and the town passes that, FLSA doesn't have a problem with that. It's a minimum requirement. It's to protect the employee. It's up to us to start at that minimum requirement, and then if we choose to, build on that.
Mr. Chair,
Treasurer.
I would just like to caution you guys to check the sustainability of if you choose to make that type of decision for the town.
Okay, any further discussion? We move on to the vote.
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Murillo.
I think what the town clerk brought up is the full intent of my resolution is to make sure that we're there. And I also think that based off the budget that we just approved, we were operating off the current system anyways. So I think, one, that we'll end up saving money regardless, because we're actually putting something on paper for everyone to know the rules. And it sounds like it's been going on for 4 years, and, well, hell, I'll take care of it. Let's just do it. And so that's why I'll be a part of this work group to make it happen. And just to remind everyone, I am going to reach out to the police department to have a representative there. I do want the roads department present. I do want the animal shelters department. I want the finance payroll available. I want the town clerk available as well. And I'll be at those meetings too, and I'll get those scheduled. And obviously, any other commissioners, more than welcome to. Only one other commissioner can join us. But anybody that'd like to join me, just let me know. I don't have a problem with that, because I think this is something that we could fix easily, and we don't have to put ourselves in a bad situation.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, could I say one more thing? And yes, if we could please get a work group together so we could actually get this on paper in black and white, because like Manager McCracken said, every time somebody changes that role of payroll, this once again brings up more conversations, things get changed. If it's clear, it's in black and white, it's there, we can refer back to it, whether it's present employees or future employees, they're gonna know, there's not gonna be any question, there's gonna be clarification. So yes, please go forward with the work group.
All right, so if there's no further discussion, we'll move on to the vote. All in favor of creating the work group, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, indicate by saying nay. All right, we've got to build a work group. Anybody wishing to volunteer, submit your name to the town manager, and we gotta keep it at only 2 commissioners and whatever other staff members you need.
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Murillo.
When they submit their name to the town manager, if they can CC me as well, so I can make sure to include them.
As long as it's not a commissioner. If multiple commissioners volunteer.
Just the one.
We only need one, but I'd say if there's multiple, you won't know
Right.
until you know
Right.
what the last, yeah. Once again, rolling quorum. All right. Moving on to the alternate judge position. Manager McCracken.
Mr. Chair, Judge White called us, and I got some clarification from the court administrator. I guess he's actually looking for 2 alternate judge. He just needs someone who's a little bit more available. And a problem that we've ran into when we've gone to post this is the only real requirements for a judge is that they're a registered voter in the town of Edgewood. So in order to post the position, we just really want to know what the commission would like to post. The judge gave us a few key points as to what a judge is, but we would like some direction on what should be in the newspaper. Because the judge just said it's the same duties assigned by the municipal judge, same duties and responsibilities as a municipal judge, hears cases, issues warrants, serves when municipal judge is unable due to illness, vacation, or conflict, and just must be registered voter in the municipality. Is the commission okay with that being what's in the paper, or would you like something, is there anything you'd like to have in there? We just want to make sure whatever, because they have to come to you first. So whoever applies has to come to the commission, you guys agree, and you guys send the applications on to the judge, because the alternate judge is actually appointed by the municipal judge. But we just want to make sure everyone is clear on what is going to be posted.
Okay, thoughts?
Mr. Chair?
Mr. Murillo?
I know that Los Alamos actually has a municipal judge that isn't a lawyer, and she's been doing good work up there. And so I think for the job posting, obviously, we'd be interested in somebody that had a background or a framework with that. But at the same time, I also think that citizens stepping up to serve who are knowledgeable, you don't always have to have agreed to be the smartest person in the room to make decisions. You can have integrity, you can have discernment and wisdom. So I would like to include that as part of the posting, that citizens can apply to it.
Okay.
And that there's not a required degree for this position.
So would you go for someone like would have a understanding of basic fundamental law?
Yeah.
Because I know the way it's written right now, somebody who's 18 years old, just out of high school, can come up and apply for the, am I correct?
Sometimes an 18-year-old,
Mr. Chair,
smart ones out there.
Well, yeah, sometimes.
the only requirement to be a municipal judge is to be a registered voter in the municipality. And you have to stay living within the municipality while you're an appointed judge. And just to let you know, we almost didn't have a municipal judge. He called to ask me questions about the election, and it was on the day that you had to go register. So I said, I told Judge White that if he was gonna run, he needed to get up there, and he did, so.
Oh,
He's
he
running
did?
unopposed, yes. He was concerned that no one else was going to be the judge, but he does want some alternates, because he'd like to take time off but still keep the courts open.
Excellent. The last time I had a conversation with him and his wife said no.
Mr. Chair, I was under the impression he was going to retire. Is that, well, he keeps telling me that every time an election comes, but he just doesn't want to leave the town in any type of position that we don't have a judge. But with this, I do know that they're possibly thinking of 2 alternate judges, just so that there's more backup.
Yeah, so when we go ahead and do the write-up for the posting, like I said, have just, basic understanding of the law. Like a paralegal would be great.
Mr. Chair, yes, a paralegal would be good. It is good to have some knowledge of laws, but there is training for municipal judges. It's similar to any other elected position, kind of like the county sheriff. Anyone in this room who is a registered voter in the county can run for a sheriff position. So it's just kind of the same mentality. Anyone can learn it, but probably better to be in that field.
Additionally, Commissioners, we do need a posting period. So when your deadline is to get applications submitted for consideration by the commission. So you'll want to put a time period on this.
Okay, that's a good idea. All right, what is the pleasure of the commission? We need to have a motion on this. Are we still thinking?
Postings are usually out there for about 2 weeks, right? 2 week
The posting? 2 to
Mr.
3 weeks, you can set the time.
I can make a motion.
Okay, Ms. Mario.
Let's see if I can do this right the first time. So, I move I move that we post a position for an alternate judge position with the job description and preferred qualifications of legal knowledge, or what was it, legal knowledge? What was it?
Understanding.
Understanding of the legal, how do I want to say that? With an understanding of the legal process. I think that's all I need. I'm open to amendments.
All right, so, to post the alternate judge position with a job description, preference of understanding the legal process.
Yes. There you go, process.
Mr. Chair, if I will, maybe add in there, since they're going to be probably a municipal judge, maybe municipal ordinances and criminal processes.
Yes.
So that would be the legal process to include ordinances.
New
and-
Mexico municipality ordinances and criminal procedure.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Naya.
what does state statutes say? Just the two requests, two items,
Yep.
and that's it?
That's it.
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Naya, yes, for the alternate judge, it just says that it needs to be just a registered voter in that municipality.
So the way I understand it is, we can always increase, but we can't decrease.
Correct.
Correct.
So by us adding the requirements that we're discussing right now, is legal, correct?
Yes. Mr. Chair, since it's an alternate, you can increase requirements if you want, I don't know, someone who can read a certain words a minute or whatever it may be. I don't know why that's the first thing that popped in my head, but, so I was just gonna double check, I can read you what state statute says. Let me see if I want it open.
Mr. Chair, in addition to that, what's the normal vetting process or background check on these folks? Is it standard employee, since this is not really, we're not making that appointment? So how does that work?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Reardon, that's a really good question. I believe that the alternate judge has been in his position for an extremely long time. So what they did at that time, I don't know, but I would imagine it should go through probably the same process as an elected official, just conflict of interest, probably a basic, well, I would maybe say a background check, just to double check everything, because I would imagine that it would probably be very frowned upon to have a felon as a judge. But I guess that's not in state statute to say no.
There may be another state statute that refers to that.
Mr. Chair, we do have a town ordinance that refers to this position. It's in your packet. So basically, it does say that all applicants have to submit their name, qualifications, and letter of interest to the town clerk's office prior to the time prescribed by the town council, and the clerk will verify each applicant as a qualified elector within the town's municipal limits, and then notify the council or commission of any applicants who are not qualified, and then the council shall select up to 5 qualified candidates to be submitted to the municipal judge. So that is our town's own ordinance on how that position, or where you start in the process.
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Murillo?
Qualified electors is the registration,
A
right?
qualified elector means that you are a registered voter residing within the municipality.
Mr. Chair, I do have the state statute that's pulled up, and I know it was just recently revised too this last year, so I can read it if you want.
Go ahead. Doesn't hurt to have more information.
It just says, "The mayor, with the advice and consent of a majority of the members of a city council, shall appoint a qualified elector of the municipality to serve as acting alternate municipal judge in the absence of the elected municipal judge." As Linda did point out, our ordinance does say that it's appointed by the municipal judge, but the alternate municipal judge shall exercise all powers and perform all duties of the municipal judge until the return of the municipal judge. The alternate municipal judge must be a registered voter of the city and shall continually retain residency within the city throughout their term of office pursuant to the requirements of NMSA 35-14-5. The alternate municipal judge shall receive compensation of $200 for each day the alternate judge serves as acting municipal judge.
Not really that much more information, is it?
Mr. Chair, not really. It's pretty open-ended, so I think whatever you'd like to. If you guys would like to require a background check, I don't think there's any harm in that.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Reardon?
since it sounds like that it originates with us, I think that that would be prudent for us to do that, to make sure we know what we're getting.
Okay, so let's go back to, we're still working out this motion here. So what I've got here is to post the alternate judge with job description with preference of understanding legal process to include New Mexico, what was it, New Mexico ordinance?
Mr. Chair, yes, sir. The
New Mexico ordinance and criminal procedure.
criminal procedure, because they don't only hear the traffic code, they also hear some of the lower court misdemeanors. And I think a lot of your judge candidates would probably, they're not required to be law school, and even magistrate judges aren't required to be attorneys. So maybe you could limit the pool to, I'd even put the word experienced in there. You might draw
Print it?
experienced,
Okay.
because you might draw just a different demographic.
Well, I guess, that would, that would also wash out during the interview process.
Quite possibly, yes, sir.
But I would like to add to the very end of what we just all said, to include Commissioner Reardon's suggestion that a background check will be required.
Absolutely, yeah.
Background check would be required upon recommendation to the municipality.
Yeah, but for the job posting, you want to let them know that, yeah,
Right,
yes,
right,
if you're
right,
accepted, there's going to be a background check.
Right,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a standard
Yeah.
statement in most job announcements, if it's required.
Yeah. Okay, so
Did you want to make the motion, Mr. Chairman?
all right, I'll go ahead and make the motions. So we'll go ahead and post the alternate judge position with job description's preference of understanding legal process to include New Mexico ordinance and criminal procedures. A background check will be required for the accepted applicant.
Second.
All right, any further discussion? I think we pretty much discussed this one to death already. All right,
Mr.
and
Chair.
all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed indicate by saying nay. Okay. Get it posted.
Mr. Chair, do you have a time frame of how long you want it posted? 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Mr.
right.
Chair, I did look it up. So in the state of New Mexico, felons cannot be a judge, but there are some states in the country that allow it.
Gee, I figured there's always going to be something else that covers something else, and you gotta, that's,
Just in case it comes up.
all right, next item is letter supporting preservation of Sandia Crest House. I brought this up when I found out that the Forest Service is considering tearing down the Sandia Crest House. I know for myself, my family, we've been going up there since 1975. I've talked to other families that are going up, have been going up there since the 60s. I got a little history on it. The original Sandia Crest House was built in the 60s, and then they rebuilt, it was built in the 50s, and they rebuilt it in the 60s, and then there have been other additions made to it over the years. And I've talked to a lot of people, some, people of Edgewood. I've also, when I've been out and about just, doing my business in Albuquerque, talking to people about this, and they were actually shocked that they're considering tearing this down because they start remembering when they went up there. Does it affect the town of Edgewood directly? Not necessarily, but it does affect the town as far as this is some place that people like to go and to participate in activities up there, and utilize the Sandia Crest House, whether it be the gift shop, the restaurant that they had. I know at one time it was really nice, and they started pairing it off. I did have a conversation with the Forest Service. They called me up, and we talked about it. And I learned something I didn't realize, but the land is owned by the U.S. Forest Service. The building is privately owned. The building right now is currently for sale. I think the asking price is a little over $500,000. But it does need work. No, I'm not even suggesting what you're thinking. I'm just letting the information, what I gathered out there. But they have been getting a lot of people have been calling up saying that that is an important place to us. So the U.S. Forest Service, they're not really sure what they're going to do, but they are taking on, more public input. And all I want to do is just to go ahead and, give the Forest Service a letter, just saying that, it's something that the people use, the people of Edgewood use, and it would be really good to maintain, to retain this area. It has historical value for the people that have been out here for a long time. And the town has made a, we have a history of wanting to preserve the history and the older structures and trying to, fix them up and make them usable. And that's what this basically, this letter is just saying that, we would like you to consider keeping the building and trying to get it rehabbed and used so future generations can enjoy it while going up there. Has everybody had a chance to read the letter? So I would like to make a motion to approve the letter supporting the preservation of the Sandia Crest House.
Second.
And it's been seconded by Commissioner Milligan. Any discussion on this?
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Reardon?
it sounds like a worthy cause, and we've been up there ourselves, and it is really, has a lot of historic value. And I think I would love to see it preserved.
The one thing that I also found out, people say, well, people haven't been going up there as much. That the amount of people dropped off drastically during COVID. All right, and a lot of things are still slowly building up. We were at the last NCRTD meeting, we were going over our ridership numbers. We are still not at pre-COVID ridership numbers, but the ridership numbers have been steadily upticking. All right, so people are getting away from the COVID mindset and what, the damage that did to everybody. And I think within the next 10 years, we're gonna be back ahead of what pre-COVID was. And and the same thing with this. People have been telling, also they've been learning is, people have gone up there and they were surprised to find it's closed because they didn't go up during COVID, and there's man, we need to go back up to the Sandia Crest House. They go up there and it's closed, and they were disappointed. If it gets reopened, if they can do something and they advertise that it's opening, I'm willing to bet there's gonna be a lot more people start going up there again because it was an enjoyable destination. Anybody else? All right, there's no further discussion. We'll move on to the vote. All in favor of the letter indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed indicate by saying nay.
Abstain. I know nothing about this place.
You've never been up to the crest? How long have you lived here?
My entire life. I know nothing. I don't even know if it's a rock house.
Okay.
So I can't vote on something that,
Looks like we'll have to take a field trip in his bus.
All right, and we have 5 yeas, 1 abstention, no nays.
4.
I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you. It's nighttime math.
I'm sorry, I just.
All right, thank you, everybody, appreciate that. I mean, I don't know if this is going to do any good to help, but like I said, preserving our heritage and preserving it for the future generations, to me, it's just important stuff. All right, we'll move on to the next item, which is call for a workshop and public hearing for ordinance to protect local water resources. This is something Commissioner Milligan and I have been working on, and we realize that large grassed areas take a lot of water. And the biggest grassed areas that can come out there are golf courses. Few people realize that a golf course can actually be built with artificial turf. The ball rolls differently, but if you're a golfer, you're supposed to be able to adapt to the field you're playing on. But this would also include any other large grassed areas. And so what I wanted to do is to set up a workshop so we can discuss the aspects of such an ordinance. Commissioner Milligan and I have already started working on a draft, so that would be brought up to the workshop, and then once we can have a complete working draft, then we can make it into, take that to a hearing. And what I'd like to do is for our next meeting is to have the workshop to go over the rough draft, and I stress the word rough draft that we have, to finalize it to something that everybody could be, agree upon, and then take it to a hearing. If we go ahead and set up a hearing now, we can go ahead and plan out and make that the, let's see, so that would be the second town meeting in September, which is, first town meeting in October, which would be, let me take a look at the calendar. I think you're right. Oh, I hate this new phone. I can't find anything.
Mr. Chair, the next meeting in October would be October 14th. That's
Okay.
the second Tuesday of the month, or, yeah.
Mr. Mall?
May I make a comment on this? Because this says, I am not a resident of Edgewood, okay, but I am a resident of the East Mountains. And this kind of a workshop and the influence that Edgewood has on what goes on in the East Mountains is significant. And I don't know, but I think you will need to decide, are you talking about water resources within Edgewood or that Edgewood has available, or are you going to be looking at a bigger picture? I would hope that that workshop would allow people like me to participate in it, and that Edgewood would look at a bigger picture. Just an
Workshop, you are
opinion.
more than welcome to show up. I know water usage out here is a passionate subject for you, and I would greatly love to have your insight on this.
Thank you so much.
So we really don't need a motion to set up a workshop, do we? Yeah, so this is more just discussion. Anybody else have any thoughts on this? Commissioner Milligan?
No. said, it is a rough draft, but I think we're making some headway there.
Yeah, it's, and like I said, it's all about creating an environment out here where water can be used efficiently, but yet you can still possibly have certain things, like a golf course. Be more expensive to build one with artificial turf, but you don't have to water it. That's why the new soccer field out here is gonna be artificial turf. You don't have to water it. Okay, so we got that, and you got that for the scheduling then?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Then let's move on to the, everybody's favorite topic, closed session.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Milligan.
I will need to recuse myself from item I-1.
Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Murillo.
I move to go into closed session. Number one, as per motion and roll call pursuant to NMSA Section 10-15-1H2, limited personnel matters, the discussion of hiring, promotion, demotion, dismissal, assignment, or resignation of, or the investigation of complaints or charges against any individual public employee, Community Development Director Hill. Number two, as per motion and roll call pursuant to NMSA Section 10-15-1HA, discussion of the purchase, acquisition, or disposal of real property or water rights Highland Farms proposal. And number three, as per motion and roll call pursuant to NMSA Section 10-15-1H2, limited personnel matters, the discussion of hiring, promotion, demotion, dismissal, assignment, or resignation of, or the investigation of complaints or charges against any individual public employee. Clerk Treasurer Candidate Shaylin Lopez.
Okay, we have the motion to go into closed session. Do I have a second?
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Milligan.
Commissioner Anaya, do you need to recuse from number 1 as well?
No.
Okay. Because I know you just had a political rally at his house.
What I do in my private life, my private life.
Will the clerk please take a roll call vote?
Commissioner Murillo? Oh,
Aye.
no, did we have a second on the vote?
wait.
Oh,
No, we didn't.
no, we didn't. I'm sorry. I thought, all right, thinking Commissioner Nye seconded. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, now we have a second.
Commissioner Murillo?
Aye.
Commissioner Reardon?
Aye.
Commissioner Milligan?
Nay.
Commissioner Anaya?
Aye.
Commissioner Brennan?
Aye.
4-1, motion carries.
All right, so the time is 7:53. We're in closed session. Okay, thank you, everybody, for waiting for us. We are back, and I need a motion to come back in open session.
Mr. Chair, make a motion, we come back into open session.
Second.
So motion and second to come in open session. Will the clerk please take the roll call vote?
Commissioner Milligan,
Aye.
Commissioner Murillo,
Aye.
Commissioner Reardon,
Aye.
Commissioner Anaya. Aye. Commissioner Brennan.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, time's 9:55. We're back in open session. I affirm only items on the closed session were discussed and no action was taken.
I so affirm.
So firm.
All right. Are there any actions that need to be taken on the closed session items as needed?
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Murillo.
I move to deny the appeal and uphold the town manager's recommendation for removal of Community Development Director Hill effective immediately.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, it's been motioned and seconded. And discussion? Any discussion? All right, because considering the severity of this, we'll take this as a roll call vote.
Commissioner Murillo,
Aye.
Commissioner Reardon,
Aye.
Commissioner Anaya.
Aye.
Commissioner Brennan.
Aye.
I don't believe I asked Milligan.
No, he's
So,
recused.
4-0. Motion carries.
Okay. All right, any other matters?
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Milligan.
make a motion that we approve the contract of our new clerk treasurer.
Second.
You guys said it at the same time. Who wants it?
Second.
No. All right, it's been motioned and seconded to approve the contact contact for the clerk, contract for clerk treasurer, and that is Celine Lopez. Any discussion?
Shelley.
Shalene. What did I say, Celine? Shalene. Yeah, there's an H in there. All right, any discussion?
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Murillo.
Ms. Lopez's interview was fantastic. Her credentials were exactly what this town needed. And an observation that I made is that she came to a town hall meeting and was taking notes in the audience and just showing a strong work ethic already to me. So I really do appreciate that.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Reardon.
same for me. We're very lucky to have you. Welcome aboard.
Likewise, welcome aboard.
Ditto.
What? I was gonna say ditto.
So you get to say something different.
Ditto too.
Trito. Yeah.
All right, well, any further discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed indicate by saying nay. Shalene, welcome aboard. All right, future meetings, we got the 23 September for Town Commission Workshop, and 23 September is a Town Commission meeting. The workshop is 5 PM, the meeting is at 6 PM. October 14th, we have the Town Commissioner meeting at 6 PM. Let's see, we also, coming up, future events here, we got the Wednesday story time, 11 AM at the library. September 16th to the 20th is scavenger hunt library. September 20th is Woofstock, 10 AM to 3 PM at Venus Park. September 20th is the Summerfest 2025 to 5 to 9 PM at Venus Park. September 27th is Movie Matinee 12 at the library. September 27th to 28th is Dumpster Days, 9 AM to 3 PM. I believe that's the last one for the year, isn't it?
No, I think we're more.
Is it one more? Oh, okay. Yeah, we do have one in October. Final comments by the commissioners, anybody? Now, next week, we do have the Municipal League Conference. So some of us will be on the road next week.
Correct.
Anybody else?
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Milligan.
motion to adjourn.
And motion to adjourn, it's been seconded by Commissioner Mario. All in favor of adjourning, indicate by saying aye. Aye.